This is a quick introduction to the tabletop letterpress. Some of you all have seen this. You've seen it in action. You may have even printed on it in class. I just wanted to talk to you about the press and talk to you about applications of using this in package design. So real quick, let's just take a look at the press itself. The press area here is 12 by 18, so you can go up to fairly large. This is type from a poster that I was printing previously. A couple of things about the press: it's relief printing, so very similar to woodblock, linoleum block printing. Type, obviously you will have to print in the reverse because it will give you a mirror image. A couple of applications on this is you could print directly on your packages, or if you wanted to print words or quick little shapes and images, you could print those and then scan them in and kind of touch them up electronically and then apply that in your package design. So 2 ways of incorporating printed matter from the press within your packaging if you so choose. Another one is that you can emboss. So if you don't ink this, whatever it is, if you don't ink this little guy, you can actually emboss. So I'm going to do a quick example of that. Put the paper on here. So typically if we were wanting to print an image, we would have inked the type first. There. And so you will notice no ink, but when I flip this over, whoops, apparently there's still a little ink left on that type. Whoops. But when I flip this over, you can see the impression. Even if this wasn't inked, you would still be able to see the impression in the paper. So if you wanted to do like a subtle emboss on something, like on a thicker cardstock, that would be possible. But again, with the press, and most of you guys have seen one of these running at some point, but you have to make sure that you lock up the type, and that's something that I can assist you with if you are interested in using the press. And after you lock up the type, use a brayer, you roll it, you ink the type. Well, you put your paper down and then you pull this and it makes your print. So fairly simple. I have in the press room down the hall, this press is currently in my office, and it's also still on its little mobile cart, so we can actually kind of roll it wherever we need to. I would probably roll it into the press room and assist you guys if you wanted to use it in there. Happy to answer any other questions about this for you all. In relation to type in the press room, I have a lot of type, but I also have a little bit of my own that I would share with you guys. You're welcome to come look at this. I also have something else you might be interested in. I also have these little what are called P22 blocks, and they are 3D printed, and you can actually do all sorts of cool shapes and custom letter forms with them. So maybe if you wanted to create your own custom printed patterns, that would be really interesting. So I will actually post some information about the P22 for you guys. A couple of other things we can actually print. We have to make sure that it's type high, that it's the same height as the type. But you can even print, quick linoleum or wood block as well. So if you wanted to carve or do a quick custom design and you didn't want to run it through the big presses in the print shop, you could run it through this guy and do a couple of prints that you could scan in and further manipulate. So again, lots of different ways to think about incorporating the press in future projects. And I'm happy to answer any other questions about the press that you guys may have. But this is just a quick overview.